Cyberphile.
Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome to Cyberphile. Last week I was super busy with midterm exams, but I finally put those behind me, and as a reward to myself, I traveled to Boston with a few friends last weekend for the Penny Arcade Expo, also known as PAX East. For the unaware, PAX is a huge video game convention that is held every year. There's one each in Seattle, Washington, Boston, Massachusetts, San Antonio, Texas, and Melbourne, whatever, that place in Australia. Here at PAX, thousands of gamers from all over come to see the latest and greatest in gaming. Developers come, set up booths, and allow people to see and play early builds or demos of yet unreleased titles. Along with developers, vendors arrive to set up shop and sell merchandise, gaming-related musical artists put on performances, and PAX officials set up tournaments where one can complete for honor, glory, and most importantly, prizes. You can also attend various panels staffed by people in the know for anything under the gaming sun. If you're feeling a bit overwhelmed by all you can do, you can even just bring your own consoles or PCs and set up and play. PAX isn't solely for video gamers though, as there's a huge tabletop and card presence, including one of the many tables you and your friends can use to play a few rounds of whatever you feel like. Cosplayers roam the halls, and PAX is also the only place I've ever seen that offers slices of pizza for $6. I mean, I'm no math whiz, but that's like $300 a pizza. At PAX, I went to a bunch of panels and played a ton of games. Some good, some just okay, and here I want to cover everything that I was able to see and play. Before I get into that though, I want to give a huge shout out to Abdallah Smash 026, who did a panel on YouTube gaming, turning your hobby into a career. By some stroke of incredible luck, I managed to win the very first raffle ticket called, nabbing myself an Elgato HD60 capture card, and a chance to talk about Cyberphile with a room of a couple hundred fellow YouTubers. You can watch me being an awkward on-stage guy here, and you can jump to Abdallah's channel here. If you heard about Cyberphile from this panel, welcome. I'm really happy to have you on board. If that's not a sign to really start cracking on this YouTube channel, I don't know what is. Wait, it's probably just incredible luck. Praise RN Jesus. Now, without further ado, the games. These are in no particular order, but I will be saving the best for last, so make sure you stick around for that. So, let's start from the top with Night in the Woods. Night in the Woods just released about a month ago on PC and PS4, and every time I browse the PlayStation Store, the trailer always kinda grabs me. Part 2D side-scrolling platformer, part minigame collection, part story-driven adventure, Night in the Woods puts you in the shoes of an anthropomorphic cat named May, who moves back into her parents' house in the small town of Possum Springs after dropping out of college. Much of the game is driven by this dialogue and has this unique, cute, yet creepy art style with really clever writing. I found myself chuckling throughout most of the dialogue, and the story felt relatable enough to make me want to keep playing and find out what happens with May in Possum Springs. Interspersed between platforming, exploring, and dialogue are various minigames that keeps things fresh as you go. Honestly, I'll probably end up downloading this one before the end of the week. It's only $20. Another interesting story-driven adventure, What Remains of Edith Finch, follows Edith Finch as she explores the house she grew up in. This one is developed by Giant Sparrow, the same people who made The Unfinished Swan. Edith's family is haunted by some sort of curse, and many have died to strange circumstances. Don't misunderstand though, it's not so much of a horror game, it's more like Dear Esther, if you're familiar with that one. You'll explore various locations in and around the Finch house in first person as you piece together the stories of the Finch family, sometimes in the shoes of Edith herself, and sometimes through the memories of other Finch family members. Stories can be set anytime from the early 1900s to present day, and I played a pretty wild scenario where I got to play as various creatures. While it seems pretty neat, I'm not sure how much staying power it'll have, as the only thing you're really doing is exploring rooms until you find the next object to interact with. There's no real puzzle solving or anything to collect, so I'm not sure if this one will be a purchase for me, but the stories themselves held my interest anyway. One really cool game I played was Donut County. This PC and mobile game developed by a single man in his free time while working on The Unfinished Swan is kind of like a reversed Katamari Damacy. In Donut County, you play as a mysterious sinkhole that grows each time it swallows something. The game is level-based, and you'll be increasing in size throughout the level, swallowing up small objects first, and entire structures later. It's a really neat premise, and is an absolute joy to play. The little bit of story and dialogue I uncovered was well written and pretty funny. The artwork is very simplistic, but bright and pops, not unlike Katamari. which is a very good thing. I'm really looking forward to the release of this one, for sure. Next, let's talk Flint Hook by Tribute Games, same people that put out Mercenary Kings. Man, this one is cool. In this PC and Xbox One game, you play as a space pirate as you 2D side-scroll through various procedurally generated areas collecting pickups, blasting baddies, and upgrading your weaponry. The main gimmick of Flint Hook, though, is, well, the Flint Hook, a grappling hook that you can use to fling yourself quickly around the screen to avoid hazards and enemies. Throw in amazing pixel art and a slow time mechanic, and I'm all in. I really wanted to keep playing this one, but then the demo ended on me. Boo. Blaster Master Zero by Inti Creates just came out on 3DS and Switch, which is a remake/reimagining of the original Blaster Master on NES. It's fucking awesome. It's a 2D run and gunner in which you spend time in a little tank with various power-ups, and can hop out to tackle dungeons. There are a ton of powers, levels to explore, great art and music, and have a bunch of really neat ideas in this one. Plus, a map feature. I downloaded it for a cool $10 and have not been disappointed in the slightest. I also got to play an early build of the PS4 version of Brawl Holla, which is currently out and free to play on Steam right now. Brawl Holla is a Super Smash Bros. Clone with a bunch of neat characters. It plays really well and is simple yet complex, just the way a good fighter of any sort should be. Though I only got one match with it, I'm looking forward to its PS4 release slated for when it's done. Seems like a really good game for friends and fans of couch multiplayer. After all, I'm always looking for fun and simple fighting games for me and my pals to try out. Strafe captures the feel of classic Doom and Quake as you run around the levels, blasting things, painting the walls with a fresh coat of monster blood. I didn't get too much time with this one, unfortunately, as there was a huge line, but seems pretty friggin' sweet. I also got to try out the new ToeJam and Earl at the request of one of my friends, seeing as he's a huge ToeJam and Earl fan. Though I'm not too familiar with those games, it seems to play a lot like the first game, with an isometric viewpoint as you explore strange yet fun and charming environments in search of spaceship pieces and flying elevators. I think classic ToeJam and Earl fans will be really happy with how this one's turning out. Also got to check out Nidhogg 2, which is a big upgrade graphically from the first game and includes new weapons. Nidhogg, or whatever, it's a 2D, fast-paced, two-player fighting game, where the objective is to kill your constantly respawning opponent and run to the end of his side of the screen. You can hold your weapon high, medium, or low, swing, jump, dive kick, and throw your weapon. Pretty much every hit is a kill, so this ends up being a really fast-paced and action-packed two-player fighting game, where the simplicity is what makes the fight so complex. I won't talk too much more about this one. Check out the first game if you need more info on it. Let Them Come is a stationary 2D defense game where you can take control of a generic space marine as he kills various zombie-like creatures in wave-based combat. Each wave you successfully survive gives you currency you can spend on upgrades and new items to survive the coming onslaught. Personally, I didn't really care for this one, it's just not really my style. The Calina Legacy is a third-person survival horror game for PC, where you take control of a nondescript man named Alex as he explores a house, presumably once his. What's unique about this one is the glyph system, where using different glyphs in conjunction with your flashlight can perform different actions, such as revealing hidden messages, defeating enemies, and unlocking doors. Honestly, I wasn't too huge of a fan of this one, as there really wasn't much to keep me interested, and the mannequin enemy that makes an appearance near the end of the demo didn't really seem that scary and had no real reason to be there. At least, not one that was explained to the player. Kind of a generic enemy design. It's pretty clear that this is an early build, as me and others that I talked with ended up experiencing game-breaking glitches, like the game just completely freezing up, the enemies straight up not appearing, and being able to end the demo with no real challenge, or even being able to recharge your flashlight despite having batteries and a charger, which is 100% necessary for virtually everything in the game. Meh. On the other hand, Hello Neighbor by TinyBuild is an amazing take on the horror exploration game. This time in first person, Hello Neighbor has you trying to break into your creepy neighbor's house, who clearly has some sort of weird secret hiding in the basement. With tons of items to find, use, and interact with, multiple solutions to problems, a rich, colorful, interesting environment, and a smart AI that learns your sneaky strategies and plans against them, Hello Neighbor may be gearing up to be the next big thing, not unlike a certain game that pits you against Five Nights at a certain play place/restaurant. It's really neat because even though it's kind of like this jump scare sort of horror game, it's bright, colorful, and almost kid-friendly seeming. I played this one's demo until I beat it, and I had an absolute blast the entire time. I got to play Tekken 7 3 months before release. Feels amazing, looks amazing, and is exactly what you want in the new Tekken. Last Tekken I played was Tekken Tag Tournament 2, but 7 is gearing up to make me really want to have a go with it. No word on a new Soul Calibur yet though, which is what I really want to see from Bandai Namco. I totally got my hands on the demo for Crash Bandicoot's much-anticipated N-Sane trilogy, remake/remaster. It's amazing! It is exactly what I wanted in this remake. It plays, feels, and sounds exactly like the original, with a fresh and beautiful coat of paint. I am super excited to get back in the big red shoes of everyone's favorite Bandicoot. Now, without further ado, my personal favorite and most anticipated game. The crown jewel of my PAX experience. Chasm. Chasm looks and plays amazingly. I loved nearly every second with it, though the first 5 to 10 minutes are pretty slow. That said, Chasm is a 2D Metroidvania that feels amazingly similar to one of the best games ever made, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. You take the role of a nondescript knight who delves into the mines of a nearby town at the request of your commander. Some miners seem to have gone missing, and it's up to you to fight through the creatures of the mines to find them. It's wonderful and seriously scratches the Metroidvania itch in an environment that doesn't have to be vampires and gothic horror. I am so very excited, and I got to have a chat with one of the developers about my excitement for it. I've been looking forward to this game for a long time now, and it's awesome to see it finally come to fruition. Now, that's not to say that that's all there was at PAX, it's just that there's simply not enough time to see, try, and do everything. I sat in on a number of awesome panels, saw one of my favorite bands perform, and just generally took in everything that was around me. Did you go to PAX East? What was your favorite game there? Even if you didn't go to PAX East, which one was your favorites of the ones that I talked about? Leave your answers in the comments below, let's have a chat about it. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more Cyberphile content. You could also like and comment, and I'll get back to you with any questions, comments, or concerns you may have. If you liked that video, maybe you should check out one of my other videos, Go ahead and click the on-screen inlays to jump to them. Cyberphile, offline.